Hats on deck with a roaring train in the background today. We can't hear it. I think Coach Angel Brown can, but we're going to roll on through anyways, just like this train. So, Coach Brown, we're here to talk about a little, some more Northwest Shoals softball like we've been doing all season. So, kind of put a bow on last week. You guys played a good bit, had some big days, and yeah, so we're through another conference weekend. It's crazy how quickly it's gone.
It has passed really, really quickly. It's kind of crazy to think that we're just sitting here with 3 weeks left in the regular season. We got two conference weekends, and then our off weekends actually coming up. And we've scheduled some other teams to come to town, so we have good competition between. So we can just keep working while we're waiting. But yeah, it's crazy how fast the season went by.
So a little bit earlier in the day on Wednesday, you took the team over to Cherokee Elementary, have a little fun at field day. So how good is that just to maybe kind of get away from softball for a little bit and do something where you're kind of pouring into others for a little while?
We've talked about it on the show. The last couple of weeks, we're trying to find ways, to get out of ourselves, get out of our own way, and kind of pour into other people around us. And we had an opportunity to go. We Our athletic trainer actually reached out and asked us if we would, help volunteer with Helen Keller Hospital at the local field day for Cherokee Elementary. So the girls got to go down and spend a day, doing fun stuff. So I think they played tug of war, and then we had some sack races and bottle flips and just all kind of stuff. And it's good. I think some of it got in the Dunkin' tank at some point. So it's really, really good because we spend so much time focused on trying to be our best, worrying about conference, who's winning, who's not winning. It's just really, really good to kind of take a step back and just kind of relax for a little bit.
Absolutely. You got a big series against Shelton State this weekend. There's two conference series left before the conference state tournament. How much do you vocalize like, hey, we've got to do this to make sure we're in good position? Or do you just tell them to completely not worry about it and just go play ball? Like, how do you kind of approach it with the group?
Well, to start off, honestly, this year, we've got a really good group, obviously. So I wanted to be very transparent with them about where we were and what we needed to do. And we did that. We started off the season really focused on, hey, this is what we did last year. These are the things we need to work on to get better for this year. And I think I was giving them too much information. I think I was contributing to, their anxiety and their, fears of failure. And we kind of had to back off of that. So we kind of had to do a pivot in the middle of the season and stop focusing so much about all the things we had to do, more so just focus on the things that we do well. So we kind of once we changed that mindset, I think we kind of got back to who we are as a core. And I mean, I could give you example on an example, but I know Leigh-Anna Davis is going to be on in a little bit. She's going to talk to you a little bit about trying to force something that's not necessarily there. And just because it's not working right now doesn't mean that you can't make adjustments and make it work again later. And that's just kind of where we are in the season, just kind of stepping back and instead of trying to hit everything head on, hey, this is what we've been doing well. Let's keep working on that. We'll address the things that we're not so good at, but we just kind of step back and get back to who we are as a group.
Good stuff. Well, like you mentioned, we got a lot of good things ahead in this show, so let's get right to it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, happy to be joined right now by Leigh-Anna Davis. LA, thanks for taking some time today. You have had quite the freshman year at Northwest Shoals, so kind of tell me a little bit about the journey that you've had. We tried to adjust some things over the first few months that you were there, and now we're kind of settled into a groove. So just kind of tell everybody what it's been like for you this freshman season.
Yeah, so in the fall, I really struggled right-handed, and I know all throughout like high school, I was known as a right-handed power hitter, and in travel ball, I was a switch hitter. So coming in, I really wanted to try to focus on extending my power on the left side or on the right side. So in the fall, I really focused heavy on the right, and it just wasn't working. And come back, worked really hard over Christmas break, lefty, came back, talked to coach, decided that we wanted to try full left-handed because I want to be able to give my 100% to whatever I'm doing. So that was what we decided. And shortly after that decision, I broke my finger. Uh, and that set me back a lot mentally and just, really wanting to be out there with the team. I really struggled, but I was always there, always wanted to be there to cheer everybody on. So it was such a small thing, but it impacted so much. I couldn't hit, couldn't really throw, do much. So coming out of that, again, focusing on a lot of lefty stuff, it just wasn't working. I wasn't where I wanted to be. Really challenging. Just just not me. So me and coach talked. She was okay with me switching back to the right side and switched back. Been putting in extra work outside of practice. I've tried to stay every day, get extra reps, whether that's fielding, hitting, but mostly hitting. Really working hard, especially with Captain Kenny in the cages. We do a lot of single-handed stuff, and that's really helped me. But yeah, just getting back in the groove of things. And last couple of weeks, I've been making solid contact, really just putting balls in play, and I'm getting back in the groove of things, and it's really looking up, just trusting the process through it all, really.
Awesome. Yeah, who doesn't love Captain Kenny? She's great.
Yeah.
So, so how have you dealt with that, mentally and off the field and trying to process all of that, the ups and the downs and trying to come out on the other side?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me is really engaging with God and being a part of SCA. I've really enjoyed being in that and being able to talk with my teammates about stuff, just being open and very vulnerable with things I've gone through, and just praying and just getting close to God again, and really prioritizing that in my life, because I know if I do everything right down here and give it my all, that He's got a plan for me and everything will work out in the end. And I talked about that on the radio show, just trusting the process and not trying to force things, and overall just having fun, being myself, working hard, and knowing that it's all going to work out in the end, and I don't have to put all the unnecessary pressure on myself, especially when I have a talented group of girls right behind me.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, this past week, you had a great week. It looks like it's kind of all starting to come together for you. Just how rewarding is that when you see all that hard work really start to show results?
It feels really great. It's it's a really great feeling just knowing that whatever I'm doing outside of practice, just trying to find ways to get better, it's finally paying off. And it's really rewarding just to see me being able to, provide for the team. Because for a long time I felt really bad because I was trying so hard, but it just wasn't working for the team. And at the end of the day, I want to do what's best and always be able to give my best for the team. And when I'm able to get up there and really put a ball in play, get on, use my speed, that makes me really happy that I know that when I do that, I'm helping the team more. So
Awesome. Great stuff, LA. Go be great this weekend, and we'll catch up again soon.
yep, thank you, Kyle.
All right, so I figured today we would talk a little bit about pitching. So, in order to do that, the best people to do that would be a couple pitchers, pitching coach maybe. So, that's what we brought along here. We've got pitching coach Macy Birdy Shaw in the middle of two of her star arms, Braden Mitchell and JC Moore. Coach, let's start with you. I got to imagine that Braden and JC and the whole pitching staff, they make your job a lot easier by how good and talented they are, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
What makes these two particularly so good?
Both of them are very different, but also very similar in a lot of ways. Both of their mentalities is what makes them both who they are, both similar and different. They both have the dog mentality. We talk about it, disciplined athletes with grit, and they both definitely have that. They're both two pitchers that you can definitely throw out there, and they're going to dominate no matter the situation, pressure, anything. They don't fold.
Absolutely. So Braden and JC, I want to hear both of your perspective on this. When y'all walk out to the circle and take the ball in your hand, like what is your mentality? Like what is going through your head as like a game's about to start, you've taken the ball and you're getting ready to roll? Like what is in your mind at that moment?
I try not to think too much, honestly. I try to keep like short-term memory. If I try to go into depth in my mind about things, it messes me up. So I just have to stay in the moment. So when I'm up there, I just think hard about make sure you're spinning the ball, make sure you're getting to your hip on your curveball, make sure you're doing this. That's I just talk to myself about like what I need to do on each pitch, like as it's being called. And I try not to think of anything else. I don't think about the inning before, if I did good, if I did bad. I don't want to think about the batter, if I just walked her, if they just hit a bomb. Like if I'm on that batter on that pitch. When I go out there, my goal is to be better than the other team's pitcher. And I set a goal to don't give up any hits, don't walk anybody, no runs, anything. And I mean, it doesn't. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. But then I think if I don't have a good inning, or if I had a good inning, then I think, well, the next inning I go out there, I want it to be better. And then if I give up a hit, I remember who hit it and where they hit it, and then I know they're not going to get hit the next time.
Yeah,
because I take it personal. I just do.
well, it's worked out for both of y'all so far. Braden, you are the reigning conference player of the week, right?
Yes, sir.
And JC, you've won pitcher of the week 3 times.
Yes, sir.
And a national pitcher of the week on top of that.
Yes, sir.
That's not bad. So, all right, when you so I know y'all both faced like hitters that you got a little beef with, or you don't necessarily enjoy being around them. We're not naming names here, but when somebody walks into the box that you're like, hey, me and her don't get along, do you throw it a little harder?
Yes, and spin it a little harder. I'll make it my goal. I want to strike him out. Yes.
Macy, as a pitching coach, like what are the real like the things that you hone in on with your pitching staff to like, hey, these are the things that you really want them to do well to be successful?
So 3 focuses that we really talk about is speed, spot, and spin. So the 3 S's, obviously you want to throw the ball with speed, you want to throw it with spin, movement, and you always want to hit your spot with no matter where the batter's at. So those are our 3 main focuses, because if you hit all 3 or even 2 out of the 3, you're most likely going to be successful.
Absolutely. So, girls, as you kind of go on, we're hitting the home stretch of the season, like a couple more weeks, and boom, we're right into the thick of conference state tournament and all that. So, what is y'all's mentality as we get down towards the end of it? I mean, you both have you're throwing really well right now and trying to keep that up.
Well, we want to get to conference, and so we know it's very important to win as much as we can. And sometimes the more we face some of the same batters a few times. So then, like personally, I over exaggerate my spin and my finish and stuff, because the more times that they see you, then the easier it is for them to hit you. And then we know that going into conference tournament, they've seen both of us too. So we've been working hard, and we just trust that what we've been doing is gonna make us successful. So at this point, we've got all the reps we need. We've practiced as much as we can. So at this point, it's all about mentality and how we go into the circle and how we face each batter.
JC, do you have any desire to step into the box and face Braden?
Well, I played against Birdy in high school, actually, so I
Sure
did have
did.
good times. But no, not really. I mean,
Okay, who had success off of the other in high school ball?
I don't know. We ain't gonna talk about it.
Yeah. All right, ladies. Well, good stuff. Coming off a split with Calhoun last weekend. Looking forward to another successful few weeks ahead. So thanks for joining us, giving us a little insight into the pitching staff at Shoals. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Today we're going to get to know a little bit more about pitcher Emma-Claire Wilson. EC, thanks for joining us today. First off, just tell me what the year's been like. There's been a lot of ups and downs for the team and for you personally. Just how's it been going?
As a team, I think we've all adapted very well to each other. The chemistry on the team is amazing, and that just makes the chemistry on the field just much better. Me personally, I've been hurt this whole spring season. I was sick for for a month and a half, and then I had an ankle problem that happened. So I have not been playing this season, but to just still be here with the team and support them and watch them grow is really special to me. So.
Yeah, we've talked to a couple of different players that have had some injury issues, types of things throughout the year. What has stuck out to you? Like, what have you learned having to go through a season where you love this team, but you're not out there on the field able to really help out?
Well, I kind of got in some practice from high school from being hurt, but I mean, overall, what I've learned is just stay positive. You got to be there for them, even though you can't be out there for them. You have to be there for them because you're still a part of the team. Even though you're cheering or whatever, you're still a part of that team.
How much
so
are
you want them to like make sure that you know that you're still mentally there for them.
For sure. How much more does it make you like just can't wait to be back out there?
You just crave it every day, more and more and more every day. Especially with it being like last season stuff, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. So tell everybody a little bit about growing up. Obviously, you've got a couple of different hometowns. I don't know which one you claim. So tell us a little bit about growing up and your journey playing ball over the years.
Okay, well, I started playing when I was about 4, t-ball, and I grew up from being like born in Coleman. I grew up in Prosper. So I think I left Prosper when I was about 15, 16 maybe. And I left Prosper Elementary School and went to Discovery Middle School, where my dad was my assistant principal.
Right.
So I went to Discovery 7th and 8th grade year, played softball there. Then 9th grade year, when COVID hit, I went to Bob Jones. So when COVID hit, I moved to Pullman because that was like my hometown, basically. And from sophomore year to senior year, I went to Pullman and played all the way until I graduated and then came here.
Gotcha.
So I've basically played since I was 4.
Yeah. So, well, along the way, in all those stops, I guess your dad has had a pretty big role in your softball life. What was that like growing up with dad, coaching pretty much every one of your teams up until getting through high school?
Well, there was definitely some hard times, but me and my dad have always been close. I've always been more of a daddy's girl, I guess you could say. So me and my dad have always been close. So him coaching me and just kind of always being there made him and I's relationship a lot stronger, I think. But it was definitely weird with him not coaching me. Definitely an adjustment, but I think we're good now. So.
Well, EC, what's next for you after Northwest Shoals softball?
So next year I'm staying and going to the Rad Tech program. I'm going to still be a manager for Northwest Shoals softball and just help out, all that stuff. And then obviously I'm not going to redshirt or anything. I can't do that with clinicals. So I'm going to just do clinicals, be here whenever I can, and just try to help the best I can. So.
Awesome. Well, I know you will knock it out of the park in that program, and I know everybody will be more than happy to have you around for at least another year.
Thank you.
But all right, well, let's get healthy. Okay, I think that's I know that's you've had a lot of things to deal with over the years, so let's get healthy, and then hopefully the Pats will finish strong the last couple weeks.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, EC.
Thank you.
I figured Angel's phone had died, and so
you know it. You already know it.
I was like, well, I can't call that phone. That ain't gonna work.
Kyle, I did a battery pack this time.
Hello, Kyle Farm.